So again, everything with the Super Bowl last night, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Tom Brady's diet that he has been abiding by for many, many years. Results have been showing, obviously, 6 Super Bowls in the last 9 appearances. You can't deny results. We're also going to talk about, I want to go over distractions, something that I think a lot of us endure, and maybe we don't even realize they are distractions. Third thing, again, if I don't ramble forever and ever and ever, is also setbacks. I think another big thing is we have little setbacks, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, in the workforce, in our business, in the gym, whatever it might be, setbacks. We're kind of going to touch base on that, on how you can take a setback and turn it into something positive. Again, these are kind of things that probably a lot of you maybe have experienced, have heard before. Maybe you've heard it on a different mentorship podcast or some Audible book. But it's always good to get different perspectives from different people because remember, we all live in different realities. What I believe and say maybe doesn't abide for you. And that's the biggest thing is, all the things that I share on these lives, this is just from my experience. This is from my knowledge, this is from my education. This is from me talking with other people in my circle or my family or close friends or mentors. And I want to take that and give that back to you. So I always say it, don't believe anything I say. Take it with a grain of salt, but hopefully it gets you to start thinking. Hopefully it starts getting you to think outside the box. Hopefully it gets you to maybe question something or say, why is that? Or how come? I've been doing that for so long. Why do I keep doing this? We get caught on this hamster wheel of life. And that hamster wheel of life goes faster and faster and faster because we work so hard. We go, 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 go. But sometimes it's nice to just take a step off the hamster wheel and breathe. So those are kind of the 3 topics we want to discuss and kind of share with you guys. So first, obviously we saw the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I haven't watched any football all year. I don't do fantasy football. For me, it's just right now where I'm at in my life, my vision, my goals, and the things that I want to get done in terms of helping people and guiding people and inspiring people. I kind of had to put things to the side. And that's, again, kind of ties into the distractions. A football game that you're watching, is it a distraction? To me, yes, it is. It's a distraction that instead of 3 or 4 hours, I'm giving my energy to something that, maybe I'll cheer or have entertainment, but at the same time, I actually spent reading a whole book, and I finished a book yesterday about water, of course. But it's just the knowledge and the consistency of improving, and it becomes almost like, gosh, I can't wait to learn more. So with the Super Bowl, it was a low-scoring game. I caught the highlights, but at the end of the day, there's one team that won, and that's the Patriots. Most people hate them, and they're kind of like the Warriors of the NFL. It's almost getting so boring. Patriots are going to win. They're going to do this. They're going to have the playoffs, and they have this one guy named Tom. Okay, I tell you, this guy came out of nowhere. He was drafted, I think, like in the 6th round, and over time, especially in the last 9 years, he's actually made it to the Super Bowl. I want to get that right. Don't fact check me on that. But in those 9 Super Bowl appearances, he's won 6. There's another guy who's won 6 championships, and that's Michael Jordan. And now you got Tom Brady up there in that conversation. And so a lot of people say, always think, God, how does he do it? He's not that athletic, and I guess he's smart, is experienced, but what does he do differently that other guys might not? And it made me wonder, because I've always, grew up a sports fan, and I always, was intrigued of athletes and how they would get things done. But what I'm learning now in my perspective, my reality is his life off the field. It's his diet. And that encompasses, mental, physical, emotional, whether it's nutrition, hydration, muscle work, all these different things. He's on top of his game. It's just straight up what it is. And I think a lot of coaches and players and teams are starting to notice and realize the things that he's doing and what is he doing. And you guys probably saw today that I posted a picture of him in his kitchen, and he had a Kangen water machine. I don't say this or that, or that's the reason why, or this, that, but the fact that he had that really kind of excited me because, I've always known for so long he's had this machine, this water for so long, and it's allowed him to play. And so his big thing is called the TB12. It's his diet. And he really focuses on anti-inflammation, alkalinity, reducing things, kind of my principle of less is more. It's not so much he talks about how much different things you want to eat, how many different fruits, vegetables, supplements, all yada yada. It's how much can I take out of what I'm eating, my everyday life that I thought was healthy, or think, how many times do we think, oh, it's just one meal. Oh, it's just one ice cream cone. It's just one Friday night pizza. But yet we forget that we've said that thousands of times in a span of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And that accumulates. And what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. And that is such a big thing because so many people are, walking around with, maybe they're thinking they're overweight, they're heavy, they've got weight to lose, they just feel low energy, lethargic, and they just think it's just all just fat. I'm just fat. I'm just out of shape. I don't go to the gym. It's just fat. Maybe to that extent, but at the same time, there's another thing called inflammation. And inflammation is a word that you're not going to hear much unless you, see it on a Tylenol infomercial, anti-inflammation, or your doctor says, oh, you sprained your ankle's inflamed. Other than that, we don't really think about it, but there's a thing called cellular inflammation. And Tom Brady focuses on that, and he finds ways to incorporate in his diet how to get rid of that inflammation while still enjoying foods he loves. And for him, he follows kind of an 80-20% rule. 80% of the time, he's pretty strict on, just clean fruits, vegetables, seeds, legumes, nuts, all these different things. But 20% of the time, he'll enjoy something still in the range of nutrition, but still being able to enjoy things. And there's so many different articles, and I urge you to go check it out, to like 5-minute reads. But the biggest thing is he has a whole premise of an alkaline diet. And, there's so many different diets that we can try. There can be like the keto, the paleo, the slim fast, there's so many. And yet these diets, they come and go, but his is more of a lifestyle. And by adding alkaline foods, for example, he starts his day, he doesn't say it, but he starts his day with water with electrolytes. And it's probably in all of his information, you'll see Tom Brady, 20 ounces, first thing he wakes up, 20 ounces of water with electrolytes. That's just another way of saying Kangen water, because Kangen water has electrolytes naturally occurring through ionization. So basically all the stuff you're trying to get in Gatorade, Powerade, the electrolytes, those are actually synthetic electrolytes. So you got to be careful because those accumulate in the body and they can actually store in the liver and the kidneys and all these different things. And again, if you're thinking, oh, what is this guy talking about? He's not a doctor. I'm not. I go off experience, research, testimonials, connecting dots, trial and error, all these different things, and this is what I'm finding. And so I'm trying to translate it to you, so hopefully you can connect some dots and maybe you can reduce inflammation, maybe you can get more alkaline, maybe you can feel a little bit more better and not feel like you're so heavy and tight and low energy and just flush it all out, because that's the biggest thing is what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. And today, society, we are constantly pumping things in our body. I used to eat 6 to 7 meals a day, 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day, 90% of that animal products. And I looked, bigger and stronger, but inside I was an inflamed as can be. And so Tom Brady was trying to do is anti-inflammation. And that's such a big thing that we get misconstrued because we're not told it, and it ties into like that point of, distractions. How there's different things. What do you think of Saka water? What is Saka water? I've never heard of Saka water. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna look it up because you have me intrigued. What is Saka water? I do not know. If you want to elaborate a little bit more, I'd love to check it out, but I wrote that down. But we want to get all these things out of us. And so Tom Brady's day, this from what he shares, I'm sure he doesn't want to give all his secrets away, but upon waking up, 20 ounces of water, then he'll have a fruit smoothie. I'm right in that same boat. I'm a big guy on fruit in the morning. If you're not intermittent fasting, which is very, very awesome, very good for you, fruit is so easy to digest. One, you get water, which, if I said it was 10 in the morning and I said, you can't drink water till 8 at night, you'd probably go, what, you're crazy. I need water throughout my day. However, we go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and we wake up at 7 or 8, we didn't drink water once. Then we wake up and we drink coffee, or we drink tea, or we get a Starbucks, or we get some kind of other thing, or bacon and eggs, and that's dehydrating as well. So we're not having a sip of water for almost 12 hours, and that's one day. Now repeat that cycle. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Next thing you know, you have severe dehydration that most of the time the things that we're drinking and consuming don't actually hydrate us in the first place. So it's kind of a hit and miss kind of deal. But what he does after his fruit smoothie, he'll go do his workouts. He likes to do a lot of workouts in the morning. and he'll consume more water. And basically, more water with the electrolytes. Soccer water is supposed to be very high in pH and fluoride free. Very high in pH. You just want to be careful. That's interesting. Again, I'm going to look this water up. You have me intrigued. But you want to make sure that very high in pH does not mean with chemicals. And that's good that it's fluoride free, because in America, fluoride is everywhere. You know, dentists growing up when we were young were telling us, consume fluoride to clean your teeth. Oh, hey, you got to do your fluoride rinse. Oh, fluoride in your toothpaste. And yet that is a neurotoxin that actually builds up, calcifies the pineal gland, which also is another thing that keeps people kind of like that blank stare they give you. Well, I don't know. That like kind of dull, low energy feeling, that's from fluoride, over fluoride consumption. But the soccer water, just make sure that it's not chemically altered. You're from the UK, but they probably don't have much fluoride there. United States, they do, but most of the other countries in the world, they don't. So hopefully they don't, and that's awesome. But you want to make sure anything with pH in water, you want to make sure it's through ionization or electrolysis. That's naturally occurring through electricity, not so much, because what I can do, I can actually get this glass of water, you know, it could be radioactive, and I can go ahead and take baking soda and pour it in. I'll swish it around. You put a pH strip, it's actually going to be bright blue and alkaline. And people are just, it's just confusing because, you know, this alkaline word is so prevalent now, but people are using it synthetically. And, you know, I give it to you, you're not going to drink it. And I wouldn't expect anybody to drink radioactive water with baking soda, but it's alkaline, so you'll buy it. And that's the water in stores, whether it's Essentia, Core Water, all these different waters. Flip it over. Water shouldn't have ingredients. Look at the ingredients, and you're probably going to see sodium bicarbonate. That's baking soda. You're probably going to see potassium chloride. And double check me on this. Potassium chloride in small amounts is actually the last step that you get in a lethal injection to pass. Kid you not. I blew my mind, and Dasani has it. That's why they're banned in the United States, or banned in the UK. I know a couple other water bottles are banned elsewhere, but just got to be careful on synthetic changes of alkalinity. But back to Tom Brady, you know, he has his fruits mostly in the morning. He then consumes vegetables throughout the day, the meat. He tries to follow a plant-based diet for the most part, but again, he'll have his fish, he'll have some, I believe, lean chicken. He stays away from processed meats, GMOs, white flours, MSGs, a lot of different things. And throughout the day, literally everything he's saying every few hours is 20 ounces of water with electrolytes. And that's Kangen water. And that's kind of, I think, his real secret. And he's not going to say it, and I'm not going to share it. I wouldn't either. If I was at his status, I don't want anybody, you know, if I'm Tom Brady as a competitor to get the secrets I have. So he's going to say it's a different water. So you want to kind of be aware of that. But the things he avoids, obviously alcohol. For me, that was a big thing that I had to get rid of. It just didn't serve me anymore. I'll have a glass of wine here and there for a wedding, but I was a fan of tequila. I was a fan of vodka and all these different things, but it just didn't serve me. And now that I understand the vibration of it, what it affects the liver, but I call it the snowball effect. And the snowball effect is something that you want to be careful of, because it might not seem much taking a shot or a beer or this, that, but again, like I said, it happens over and over and over, and the lingering effects of inflammation, acidosis, chronic dehydration, you know, you don't want to get that phone call, you don't want to get that diagnosis, you know, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, when all you could have done is made a couple of changes. So he avoids alcohol, he avoids gluten-containing food like breads and pastas. I do as well. Gluten is just not my thing. Again, people think, oh, it's a fad and this, that. Well, look it up. Gluten was also used, I believe, by ancient Egyptians to keep people almost under a mind control. Like gluten literally is glue. You know, if you got a clump of brown rice or a clump of any kind of gluten-containing substance and you threw water on it, you threw it against the wall, it's going to stay there for a while. And that just glue, and it binds and it sticks. And then it clogs up our tummy, it clogs up our intestines, it clogs up everything. And now you can't wring your sponge out. So now all your pipes are blocked. And you want to make sure those pipes are unblocked. So how can we get that out? Again, it's not trying to add more, just slowly cut back on your gluten consumption. Breakfast cereals, that's another one. Breakfast cereals are completely laced with glyphosate. Cheerios especially, I used to eat Cheerios, Wheaties growing up, and the parts per million of glyphosate, which is another neurotoxin and cancer causing and all these different things, is through the roof. You can actually get a bowl of your cereal. Say you're eating Wheaties, whatever, a whole grain cereal, commercialized. You can get a little magnet, right? And then put the milk or whatever you put in, almond milk, hopefully not dairy milk, but that's your decision. And you can actually roll the magnet, and basically the cereal is going to follow the magnet, because what happens is they pump these cereals with so many heavy metals. Now they'll say it's iron fortified, but what they don't realize is there's different types of iron, and the iron that you're consuming in these cereals are not iron that can be used to convert it into blood and all these different things. It actually stores as heavy metal buildup most of the times in the brain. So that's not cool. So glyphosate, heavy metals, all in breakfast cereal. So stay away from those. Corn, again, another GMO full of glyphosate. He doesn't consume any dairy, obviously highly inflammatory. Again, research this. Dairy of any kind, whether it's whole milk, almond, or not almond milk, cheese, yogurts, all these, as they say, calcium builds bones. It actually increases IGF-1 protein, which is cancer causing. And it actually causes basically a lot of things to go wrong. And it's funny because we're told to drink milk to grow our bones strong, yet at the same time consuming dairy, because remember, it's acidic. So when you consume an acidic substance, whether it is a bottled water, Gatorade, dairy, alcohol, all these things, it's acid. It is straight acid. You throw acid in anything, where you throw acid in the body is not just going to sit there and start getting punched with acid. That's not how it rolls. It's going to buffer it. How does it buffer it? There's a thing called calcium, because calcium is highly alkaline. So our body, smart as it is, takes alkalinity, calcium from our own bones, and literally has to combat the dairy you're consuming. Yet you think dairy is giving you calcium to grow your bones. You're creating a war in your body by thinking something is improving you, and that's where society is so confused. And so dairy, highly inflammatory, highly acidic, United States, I believe Sweden and a couple other countries are the highest in osteoporosis, and we consume the most milk. And we love ice cream, we love dairy, we love milk and cereal, we love cookie, we love all these things because that's society, and that ties into the distractions. Are you being distracted, right? Are you being distracted from how you should be living because of external stimulus that are constantly replaying and reprogramming your subconscious mind? If you see a commercial so many times for a glass of milk being poured and got milk, and you got a mustache, over time, you're really going to start believing that you should drink milk. That was me. I would drink a gallon of milk growing up a week. I kid you not. And I had face issues. I had stomach problems, always had gas, always had cramps. I didn't know any better, but I just thought it was to get bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? Now, did I get bigger and stronger? I did, but I also became more inflamed and had a lot of acid in me, which led to a lot of mental issues and all these different things that I had that I didn't realize growing up. So staying away from dairy. He stays away from GMOs, high fructose corn syrup. Obviously, we know those are bad. Any kind of colorings and this and that. And, back to liquids, you see that in Gatorade and Powerade and Propel and all these drinks that me as an athlete, I used to consume, as, professional players consume, and they're oh, light just went out. Okay. That must be a sign. Maybe I'm doing something right. I'm sharing the truth. Here we go. But you want to get rid of all these different additives and these chemicals and these colorings, these fructose corn syrup things. And so he stays away from those. Trans fats, sugars, artificial sweeteners. He's not a big fan of soy, fruit juices, a lot of fruit juice. They might be healthy. They're pasteurized. Why are they pasteurized? Thing called 2 words, shelf life. Literally shelf life. Because these big conglomerates, whether it is Whole Foods or a Pavilions or a Ralph's, how long can we keep our food on the shelves? Because we don't want to keep changing food every day, so we got to keep our foods that last long. Well, let's get this fruit juice, this naked juice, this Adwala juice. Let's blitz it with 180 plus degrees first. It's still good, the juice is in there, but we zapped all the nutrients, we zapped all the enzymes, we zapped all that. Put it on the shelf, it'll last forever. You could probably drink an Adwala juice from a year from now. Still be fresh, but is inflammatory, acidic, oxidizing with no nutrients and enzymes. Body Armor. Fortunately, Body Armor, again, is acidic. You could test it, and you can also check its ORP, and ORP is basically the ability to oxidize something. So anything negative has a negative ORP, that's an antioxidant, We know what that is. That's an anti-inflammatory, anti-aging. Those antis is what we want to consume. Body Armor, Gatorade, Propel, sports drinks, any kind of those things is inflammatory. I've tested them, is acidic, is oxidizing based on this reading called an ORP meter. I thought I had one, but I'll show you guys that on another time. But so Tom Brady stays away from those things. He stays away from jams and jellies, most cooking oils, frozen dinners, salty snacks, sugary snacks, sweetened drinks, white potatoes, white flours. Now you probably think, well, shit, that's everything I eat. What am I supposed to eat? There's over 80,000 different types of fruits and vegetables in this planet. Just because you haven't seen a commercial over and over and over, or a commercial with a green juice, literally, and a green mustache, or actually, green unibrow. Just because you don't see that doesn't mean that it's not out there for you to eat and to consume, because it's so good for you. And so what he likes to do is just keep things simple. He has his routine. And again, back to the beginning, results show. Winning is not accidental. You do the things you do to give yourself a chance to have success. And that's the biggest thing you want to take away from this, that some people like, God, Tom Brady's so lucky. He's all these different things. How does he keep winning? Well, let's look at the stuff he does off the field. He's not partying. He's not doing these stuff. He's not going to buffets. He's not, putting inflammatory foods and drinks in his body. He's reversing it. That's why the guy could play to 45. I think he'll play 10 more years at this rate. And he'll keep winning. He will just keep winning and doing his thing because he prides himself so much off, the field. Research foods high in foods in estrogen, kale. So estrogen, there's also another thing called oxalates. Those are found in kale and spinach and other green leafy vegetables. So it's kind of a confusion kind of deal, but I do consume kale, not so much in a whole base, but if I do, it would be juiced. I'm a big more fan of a spinach, but I get a lot of my things just from it's a company called Purium, and it's organic. It's basically dehydrated kale, spinach, all these different things, superfoods. So I get a lot of that from there because a lot of times we're so busy. But estrogen, I got to double check on that one. I actually just read about it a couple of days ago, but it was a brief read. That's another topic I'm kind of trying to figure out as well. So that's a really good question. So I like these questions. Keep them coming. This keeps me on my toes and allows me to keep learning as well. But as far as that, so again, Tom Brady really focuses less on these things that are inflammatory, less on things that are acidic due to acidosis. We do not want acidosis. Acidosis is the first stage of ailments, of issues of sickness. Acidosis can lead to allergies. You can go ahead and lead to basically colds, flus, sinus infections, tummy aches, rashes. Then you go to the next level, and then you got IBS, you've got colitis, you've got acid reflux, then you've got migraines, then you got headaches, then you got insomnia, now you've got autoimmune, now you've got heavy metal poisoning, now you've got cancers, now you've got diabetes, obesity, and it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going to the point where your body is so much filled with acid, you're just a walking pool of acid. And what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. That should just be said over and over and over, and it's not what you put in, it's what you get out. And that's why detoxing is so important. I'm still, as crazy as it sounds, I'm a year into this kind of lifestyle of just taking care of my body. I'm still cleansing. Kid you not, I get rashes every couple weeks, and these rashes are deep in my liver from all the years of alcohol. And I get rashes on my back, deep from my lungs from consuming so much dairy, all that dairy and mucus you create stores in your liver, it stores in your joints and your bones, and as you purge and detox that, a lot of times I grew up with, that loogie, like, bleh. I don't know where it came from. It just kept coming, and I just thought it was life. That's just how it is. It's just mucus. So you just clean, but detoxing is a process, and you have to be patient, but you have to commit to cleansing. You can't just do a 3-day juice cleanse and think all 20, 10, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of neglect to your body is going to be flipped. And that ties me into the next topic. And again, I'll kind of keep moving and again, keep firing questions. I love this engagement with you guys. This is awesome. Yeah, so skin rash is so good question. So anytime you have a skin issue, this is very important to know. And again, research it, look it up, but connect some dots. Hopefully I can make it simple for you. Anytime you have a skin issue, whether it's acne, psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis, dandruff, all these different things, your body is trying to kind of wave at you, right? We're stranded on an island, we shoot a flare. Skin rashes are flares because your body can't talk to you, or at least we can't hear it when your kidneys are getting clogged up. It's not going to yell at you. Now, if you meditate and you go within, maybe, I'm not saying you can or you can't, anything's possible, but when you start getting things on your skin, that's your body's innate way of saying, hey buddy, you've got some stuff to get out. So I'm going to push it out for you, because there's 4 channels of elimination. And remember this, 4 channels to get things out of you. Urination, obviously we know what that is. Perspiration, that is sweating through our skin, the largest organ in our body. Exhalation through our lungs. We emit CO2. 90% of the free radicals, I got to double check this, but a lot of the toxins that we consume are expelled through our breath. That's why breath work is so important. And those who help, don't breathe or don't do deep breathing, or even, most of the time, most people, it's almost like that's weird for society. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you breathing so hard? It's called living. It's called detoxing, because most of us have shallow breathing. And when that shallow breath occurs, your body can't get oxygen, which can't circulate blood. And when your blood stops circulating, your body now becomes a floating, muddy pool. We need rivers. We need rapids. That's why we need hydration and all these things. But with the things on the skin, your gut is cleansing, your liver is cleansing, your kidneys cleansing, and it's pushing things out. Now, hopefully you can, and you go to the bathroom as much as you can. You could urinate, defecate is the other 4th one. So pee, poop, breathe, and sweat. Breathe, poop, breathe, and sweat. Those 4. Some people don't sweat. Some people have 1 bowel movement a week. I kid you not, I've talked to people who go to the bathroom 2 or 3 times a week and think that's okay. I personally go multiple times a day, if not more, before noon. That's just, I get it out. My digestion is clean, my body's rolling. You've got about over 10 pounds of fecal matter. I know it gets a little graphic, but this is truth. The average human has about 10 pounds, especially with a Western diet, 10 pounds of fecal matter that they need to expel in their body. And some people are just focused on burning fat. They lose 1 or 2 pounds off the scale because of a crash diet, yet the 10 pounds of fecal matter is still sitting in their colon and their transverse colon and their small intestine. We're doing a detox or intermittent fasting or drinking more water or more of a fruit fast. That's going to flush, and within a few days, you're going to probably lose 10 pounds. I mean, effortlessly. That just falls out. And it's not even fat. Remember, fat is fatty acids. What's that word, acid? When you become so acidic, your body holds on to fat. Try to change your body's chemistry by consuming more water, more fruits and veggies, doing intermittent fasting, breathing, getting out in nature, exercising, saunas, all these different tools that are now being kind of aware, the things that Tom Brady does. You flush that out, you're good money. You're good to go. But as far, again, back to the skin, you want to make sure these are first warning signs. And some people say, oh, it's puberty. Oh, that's just a bad this. Or, oh, it's just hereditary or this. Excuse my language, but bullshit. Straight up bullshit. Start taking your power back and start detoxing, start cleansing, start researching. We have these things called phones. Look stuff up. How can you improve? How can you come out better? And that's where I'm at with helping people, giving them these tools, because I did the work on myself. I'm helping my father do the work on himself. I'm helping my mother and my sister all become better. All become better. And yes, you absolutely can always DM me. Anybody who has questions, DM me. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I will be getting a nutrition certificate very soon. A lot of people want that certification, but I'm in the process of doing so. But DM me if you need my information. Email me, text me. I'm happy to get on a call with you. I provide value to people. Oh, you charge this. You pay me back by just becoming better, feeling better. A text message, this, that, there's things that I can recommend you to purchase or to buy that work for me. Go for it. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to reach out for help, to seek help, to realize you want to be helped, and to take the initiative of asking for help. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, because you know that life is meant to be shared and to do it with others and to get others' perspectives, because that's how you're going to grow. And as you take all these different realities and perspectives, you make your own. Now you're the creator. So that's very important to do. So those 4 eliminations you want to eliminate, and anything on the skin is your body's red kind of warning sign, like, hey, something's going on. You got to detox. So that's kind of that with the Tom Brady diet. The next part, again, is the distractions. And so a lot of times we get so distracted with our life. And whether it's from emails we have first thing in the morning, or other people wanting to hang out, or literally people asking, hey, you want to come to happy hour, or let's go out this weekend. And me being as outgoing as I am, I always said yes. Let's do it. Go there. I always wanted like the full schedule. And people want to be so busy, but yet not many people are productive. And that's the biggest difference, is a lot of times when people aren't productive, they get frustrated because they're working so hard, so many hours, 24/7, no days off, yada, yada. You've heard all these things, but yet take no time to recover, no time to reflect, no time to review, and no time to regenerate. They don't have any time for that. And so they get distracted. And as soon as the body, maybe they're getting a skin rash, but no, I got to go to my fantasy football thing. Or maybe they're getting a headache, but no, I told my buddy I was going to meet him for this. Your body is literally just knocking on your door, your conscious mind, and telling you, hey, time to take care of yourself. And all you're doing is say, yeah, you can just wait. I'm going over here. And your body goes, okay, man. Well, tomorrow morning, you're probably going to get some sneezes. You might get a sore throat. And then we'll pop Tylenol. And then we'll see a TV. And then we'll go to the movies. And we're always distracted. And it's the hardest thing to do because we want to enjoy life, but we give our power away and our energy away. And so life then happens to us, not for us. And with the Super Bowl, just think of how many people, and I'm not bashing on anything. I don't care if you watch Super Bowl or not. This is just my philosophy and my vision, is there's so many people who gave 4 hours of their life away. Maybe they are struggling with a health ailment. Maybe they're struggling with relationships. Maybe they can't seem to get their business off the ground. And this is just an example for the Super Bowl because it just happened. And this is a great example because how many millions of people watch it. And those hours that they, instead of bettering themselves or learning something new or dedicating themselves to a new craft or reading a new book or meeting with someone to get information to better themselves, they just kind of sat down and enjoyed the Super Bowl and watched the game and gave away that energy to that. And that's okay. Again, that's fine. Do what you got to do, whatever makes you happy. But I used to do that too. And the problem that I had was the next day I would then complain I didn't have enough money. I was tired. I didn't have any more clients. I couldn't make any more sales. I'm not learning anything. I feel like I'm stuck. And that Super Bowl game is all now done. It's over. And now I'm kind of back in that notion of, and then you repeat the cycle. You do it again and again and again and again. And we get so distracted because society is very good at distracting us. These phones that we're on distract us if you're not using it properly. Social media can be a blessing or a curse if you abuse it. I used to abuse it. I would scroll aimlessly, follow things that didn't benefit me. I would actually get more envious. I'd get more upset. I'd get more jealous instead of inspired, motivated, and uplifted. Now my timeline is clean. I've got so many things saved that I love sharing with people, and I bring value to people, and that's just the absolute most rewarding feeling you possibly have. So just be aware of distractions, and don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to take your power back. Say, no, I'm staying in tonight. I want to work on myself. I know it sounds maybe kind of out of the ordinary, but I'm committing to it. And most of the time people will make fun of you. They'll give you a hard time. They'll say this, or it's just one time, or come on, man, you're lame. Remember, anytime someone says something negative to you, it has nothing to do with you. This is such a good lesson that I learned. Anytime a negative thing or someone who brings you down or something that doesn't uplift you or inspire you or just kind of an energy vampire, put up an imaginary mirror and let them see their own reflection, because most of the time they're trying to get you to come to their level. I don't come down anymore to meet people. If I'm someone, who's maybe not there as much as I used to, or talking as much as I used to, or joining the things I used to do, it's not because I don't like it. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just here now. I found other things to help 1,000 more people, hopefully. And so if you want that too, meet me. Level up, level up your stuff, like enhance your life, like come out a little bit better and just improve yourself, because if you're constantly improving, minuscule, whether it's saying no one time for going out because you want to read, and that's so weird now in society because that's not cool, and who reads? You're not in school anymore. Well, your life, you're always learning, but these distractions happen. But any kind of negativity, a humble person, a proud person, an inspired, a happy, content, self at peace, self-love person will never bring someone else down. If they do, they've got some other things that they haven't addressed, and that's for them to go in and figure out. But always keep that mirror up, stay strong with what you're doing, stay grounded, knowing that whatever you're doing is the best short-term, long-term, and I guarantee those people who gave you hard times and bragged on you, whether you're friends, coworkers, colleagues, family, whoever, they're gonna come back and say, hey, what book were you reading? Hey, can you invite me to that next thing you did? Hey, I don't feel like going out either. You want to go hang out and watch something on and educate ourselves? It will happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to people I know, and it's beautiful. And that's where everyone wins. And so with setbacks, kind of the last thing I'll tie into before we end it here, with setbacks, I had a rough week this week. You know, I had a lot going on. I spread myself too thin. I was giving my energy away to things that didn't really benefit me, and I felt myself depleted and drained. A lot of times people, you know, they work so hard, and you know, as healthy as I eat, as the water I drink, there was something missing, and it's because I was just handing out like get out of jail free cards. Like I was just trying to help everybody. I was trying to fix other people's problems, and I used to do that so much in the past, and I haven't as lately, but this week I did, and I sat back, I'm like, why am I exhausted? And I was talking to my partner Jillian, and she was like, are you giving your power away? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's told me this before, and you know, I'm so thankful for her to kind of be there for me as a partner, as a mentor, as a friend, as a teammate, as a business partner. She's so much, and she's just a gorgeous soul. And she's like, are you giving your power away to people? And I said, can you elaborate? Because I don't get it. And she basically said, well, if someone needs something from you, do you respond right away and give it what they want? Or do you kind of wait? Do you ask questions? Do you see how they can maybe do it themselves? Or do you just quickly able to just, here, I'll help, I'll do this. Next thing you know, I wasn't even in the moment of living. Life was happening to me. My mind was racing. I started living up here and not in here, right? And the rest of my body. A lot of people, when we get frustrated, anxiety, depression, all these different things, clinically, whatever you want to call it, literally, we get stuck up here. We literally ping-ponging back and forth. My father always said this growing up. He said, once you master 6 inches in between the ears, you've got everything figured out. And I always heard it. I always understood it. Well, I thought I did. But it wasn't until this year is when I applied it to my life. And it wasn't so much trying to figure it out up here. It was leaving. It was leaving up here. Because up here, the brain, the logic mind, you know, especially the right side of the brain, you create all these scenarios that don't even exist. And the ones that do exist is because you thought of it so much it happened in reality. If I keep thinking, I'm going to get fired, I'm probably going to get fired. If I'm thinking, well, I'm going to close this deal. Oh, this deal's going through. More times than none, the deal's going to go through. It sounds so surreal and so cliche, but I didn't believe it, and it works. It really does work, and it's opened up so many doors for me in terms of health, business, and success, and I think it can really work for a lot of you. And so, again, embrace setbacks. Know that any kind of setback it's something that's trying to teach you something. It's always, life is a lesson. It is literally the greatest lesson ever, is to live and experience. And yet, every time we think of a setback, we beat ourselves up. I was a prick to myself. If I didn't have a certain rep range in the gym, I would say myself a failure. If I didn't get this on a test, I probably wasn't good enough. If I didn't get this much playing time growing up in basketball, I would compare to others. And I would just beat myself up instead of now, okay, that didn't work. Well, that deal didn't close. I just missed out on a lot of money. Sure, that sucks, but okay, what things do I have to do to improve so that doesn't happen again? And it seems so easy, but yet so many people struggle with that. And to take that away, embrace your setbacks for a comeback, all that yada yada, but sit with it. Really sit with how you're feeling, because it is just a feeling. It's a chemical, a chemical that gets released up here, and that becomes an emotion, which is energy in motion. When this energy is moving and in motion through your body, you now have feelings. These feelings then manifest, go back up, and then you think of what you're feeling. I don't feel good. Well, your reality is not going to be good, because the feeling you have is from the energy that's in motion due to the chemicals you are thinking about, because all you think about is negativity. Just like that. So hopefully that makes sense. again, thanks for joining me. I know I always kind of ramble on and on, but if anybody has any last minute questions, please fire away. Send me a DM, email, text. If you got my number, I'm an open book as always. I enjoy doing these lives, and I'm putting these lives together. I'm going to create a YouTube site. I have so many plans and so many things for this year that I just want to help and share with people. And most of it is life experience. And I think at the end of the day, that's such a powerful tool because, it's wisdom. Not many people believe a 10-year-old. That's okay. But a lot of people will sit down and listen to someone in their older life, not because they learn so much, because they experience so much. So keep experiencing, keep enjoying life, literally wake up with gratitude, just put a smile on your face, enjoy everything, be in the present moment, try not to get distracted. If you do get distracted, catch yourself, tap yourself on the chest. Hey, hold on, come back to the present moment. Don't get stuck up here, okay? Don't get stuck up here. My next live, I'll be doing my lives every Monday. I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm hoping to refine tune my schedule and hopefully have something on Wednesdays where we can do. I know we do a lot of sound healing here at the house for people, but there's so many things that I love to share, and I'm building a website. I'm working on getting a video team. I'm going to be building a YouTube channel, my own podcast, the Cobcast. So I'm going to be talking, the stuff I share on this live is 1%. It goes so much deeper, and that's from meditating, from sitting with myself, from being with people who are really interested and kind of curious about more than life, than what society gives us, more than what the Super Bowl offers. I want to go deeper and deeper and just enjoy life and its fullest. So eat more alkaline foods, less is more. Try not to put more in your body. Instead, get rid of stuff in your body, because what you don't eliminate, you accumulate. Tom Brady does it. He drinks Kangen water. He lives that plant-based lifestyle with some cheats here and there, and that's what makes him a 6-time Super Bowl winner. There is no denying, hiding the results. So don't get distracted. Be your best fan. Be your biggest fan. Stay in the now. It's okay to say no. Appreciate yourself. Love yourself. Literally to a point where if everyone disappeared from this earth and you're by yourself, you're all good. Because that's all you have. That's all you need is that person you wake up every morning. All you need is that person that lifts his head off the pillow. That's another good one. Master between the ears. Live in your heart. Get out of that victim mindset. Create your reality and shine on. So thanks again. My dad was on this. I love it. Good talk, Cobb. I love him very much. We got him on the Instagram. So he's hopefully one of these days I'll get him on one of my lives. I know a lot of people ask about him and always care about him and wonder how he's doing. He's doing great. He's just taking it a day at a time and rebuilding his body and getting kind of, back to where he was, but even better than he was before. And that's what it's all about. Just keep coming out better. Keep calm and cob on. That's how I like to end it. But I'll repost this for the next 24 hours. Send it, tag some people. Hopefully I can keep building this audience. And again, I appreciate you all, every single one of you who you came for a minute, 5 minutes, the whole session, ask questions. You actually invested in yourself. You could have been watching Netflix. You could have been watching something else, but you chose to come on here and learn a few things. And that's the first step in coming out better. Appreciate y'all.